here, and only Claudia know what's really going on in the world today.
Well, what is really going on, of course, as you referred to earlier, is the William Hurt story.
Yeah.
That is the big people story. The actor, as Kathy said earlier in the show, scored a big, big victory yesterday when a judge rejected a lawsuit filed by Hurt's former lover seeking half of the actor's estimated $10 million fortune. The judge ruled that the woman in question, Sandra Jennings, had failed to prove that she was Hurt's common-law wife. Jennings' lawyer, who we discussed earlier, and plans to appeal the case, then blasted the judge, who is a woman, for supposedly being starstruck and in love with William Hurt.
Police.
Exactly. And because of evidence of the judge's supposed infatuation with Hurt, the lawyer, well, his big case for this, he points out that the judge gave the actor a, quote, special little room to stand in, unquote, and a special 20 minutes in which to stand in this little room to compose himself after one of his many explosions on the witness stand. Now, interestingly enough, though, which is contrary to the way things usually work in these cases, nobody in the movie world is particularly happy for William Hurt. On the one hand, they're glad because maybe this will protect them more from these kind of lawsuits, but Hurt is not, I have to tell you, not among the most popular actors in Hollywood. In fact, the view from the movie world is that he's kind of bizarre, very moody, and frankly, not the most pleasant guy in show business. His lover, Sandra Jennings, however, never really had a chance, legally speaking. In her decision, the judge pointed out that during the 10 weeks in which Jennings claimed that they lived together in a common-law marriage, for 6 of those weeks, Hurt was still married to somebody else. Hurt, who earns about $4.5 million per picture, will continue, though, to pay child support to the son that he had with Jennings. He's shelling out $65,000 a year to support that child. Another big money maker, Meryl Streep, may make a bit less money this year. It was recently reported, you probably heard, that Meryl had suddenly and very surprisingly dropped out as the star of the long-awaited film version of Evita. The official reason given was exhaustion from her heavy work schedule. But unofficially, I can tell you the reason was that old Hollywood standby, money.
Really?
Yes. You know, Streep had really wanted this part, Kathy. I mean, more than anything. It was the plum part. Willing to audition for it. No other star of her caliber would ever have done this. She made a tape. She made an audition tape of her voice in which she sang for the producers so that they could hear that she really was up to doing the singing for it. And so as a result of all of this, everyone has really been puzzled as to why did she drop out of the part. Well, it seems that the production company involved had been having financial troubles. So Streep, who is one very shrewd person and one tough bargainer, decided she wanted to renegotiate her contract. Now, Meryl makes up to $6 million per movie. She's really the biggest female star in pictures. And she wanted the producers to guarantee that she would get the money even if the movie was never made. She figured her time is money. If they were going to go out of business, she wanted protection. And the producers of Evita said, adios, Meryl. So, actually, while Meryl is very disappointed, we shouldn't cry for her too much because there could be a silver lining to it. You know, last year when Meryl was nominated for an Oscar for A Cry in the Dark, she was astonished and she was furious when she did not win. Despite tremendous competition last year from Melanie Griffith, Sigourney Weaver, Glenn Close, Jodie Foster, and despite the fact that nobody in Hollywood gave Meryl a chance, this was far from her best picture, and only 2 other actresses have won more than 2 Oscars. Despite all that, Streep was still sure it was going to be her night. A lot of people were actually a little concerned that Meryl was a little bit out of touch with reality. So when she lost to Jodie Foster, Meryl officially she was blaming it on her continuous use of accents in movies. Her character in that film, Cry in the Dark, was Australian. Meryl felt that the movie community was perhaps starting to resent her for her accent artistry, which may in fact be true. So, in a sense, she may be a little relieved that she won't have to be brushing up on her Spanish for Evita, and she quite purposefully and purposely made an American comedy for her very next picture. As you probably know, she'll be co-starring in She-Devil with Roseanne Barr.
Something tells me this story's not over yet, though.
I think it might not be. I think she could be a very interesting Evita.
She would be brilliant.
It could still happen.
I love her accent. I don't care what anybody says.
I think you'd be a very good Evita, actually.
Right. I'd be fabulous.
Yes, darling.
Thank you, Claudia. Next up, Regis is going to visit with Peter Max in his studio. Stay with us.
Next week on Live, comedian Shirley Hemphill.